welcome back to the St. Louis podcast. Today we'll be talking about some of the exquisite tourist attractions in the greater St. Louis area, starting off with the Gateway Arch. Levi, have you ever been to the Arch?
I've been to the Arch recently. I haven't gone in a while, but I usually go for special occasions. Have you been to the Arch, Matthew?
Oh, yeah, I went with my grandpa a few years back, recently renovated. I really like the new museum down there, or downstairs, the Lewis and Clark Expedition Museum, I believe it's called. I think it's really cool. I also think that it's really interesting learning about how the arch was built and the history surrounding it. Moving on to the St. Louis Science Center, one of my favorite things is the planetarium. What's your favorite part, Levi?
I like seeing all the statues of the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. I haven't been there in a while, but I remember taking a field trip there in I don't know, like third, fourth grade, and it was cool to see all the different science stuff with all my friends.
I love that good science stuff, man. One of my favorite things was they recently had a hockey exhibit that my dad and I decided to go to. It was pretty cool. I also really like their downstairs tornado exhibit. Next up is Forest Park. Levi, how often would you say that a normal person should go to Forest Park if you're a St. Louisan?
I would say pretty often. It's a pretty nice park. I go there with my dad and my brother. Usually just go there to hang out, maybe bring like a sports ball, just have fun there.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts is that not only is Forest Park just a park, it's beautiful. It also has a golf course. It also has, the Muni, the outdoor venue, and it also has the zoo, which is free, top second rated zoo in America, which we'll talk about later. Next up is the Fox Theater. Fox Theater is like a playhouse, world renowned, beautiful. I think it was built early 1900s. Some notable plays over there were Wicked, Hamilton. Levi, have you ever been to the Fox Theater?
I wish I could say I have, but I've always wanted to go, but I've never got the chance.
Are you a big play guy, or are you just kind of like more of a movie action type of?
I'm more of a movie action type of guy, but I would never pass up a theater play.
Of course, of course. Levi, would you like to introduce the next one?
Sure, Matthew. The next one is the Botanical Gardens. It's a pretty cool place. You got any experiences there?
Yeah, I think we went back in let's see, fifth grade. It was really cool. I think it was really interesting learning about all the plants and diversity there. They have a huge indoor area where there's not native plants that are able to grow there. It's also really interesting just walking around at night with all the lights. It's really beautiful if you take the time out or you find the right time of year. And next we have Busch Stadium, home of the St. Louis Cardinals. One of my personal favorites in the St. Louis area, as I love sports, is Levi knows very well. I really enjoy going to the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame and downtown at Ballpark Village before pregame and after game. Levi, have you been to a Cardinals game recently?
Not recently, I haven't, but I remember going in the past. It's always a great time going there. One time I went there with some of my friends in, I don't know, third grade, second grade, but it's always fun going there.
It's unfortunate the Cardinals are struggling this year, but we always find a way. It's how the St. Louis way. Next up is the St. Louis Zoo, which I was talking about in Forest Park. It's just second-rated zoo in America behind the San Diego Zoo. Best free zoo in America. It's got Levi.
What's your favorite? You like looking at the animals there? What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal. It's tough. You can't go wrong with the polar bear. Newer exhibit. They're so majestic. I also really like the penguins, even though their cages are a little smelly. What about you?
I like looking at the otters. I remember there's always like a little otter show. I always check that out whenever I'm there. Haven't been to the zoo in a while though. Would love to go back.
Yeah, seals are pretty cool too. I think it's really great that we have such an accessible zoo. With the carousel and all of that. Next up, I have to say, is Grant's Farm. It's a local petting zoo type of atmosphere. A little step down from the regular St. Louis Zoo with less exotic animals. But I think that it's a really underrated tourist attraction, St. Louis. What about you?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. Are you allowed to ride the horses there?
I think you are. I think there's opportunities for you if you are wanting to. It's also just a great place to take the family and the kids, out for a nice walk or stroll. I also think that another a great place to take the kids is the St. Louis Art Museum. A lot of great art there, a lot of up and coming artists, some old pieces, some new pieces. It's also located in Forest Park, right across from the History Museum, I believe. It's just a really cool. I love how they rotate through art. Have you been there recently?
I actually have been there recently. Me and my father, we went there not too long ago. It was pretty cool. It was my first time going. I loved looking at the art. It was cool. Cool
Sounds
place.
great. And I think that'll wrap up our podcast. To our listeners out there, thank you.